for fueling the climate justice movement by providing visibility, funding, and support to the leaders and organizations from the communities on the front line of environmental degradation. Gloria Walton and the Solutions Project. And now for the video.
Climate change impacts all of us, but some of us are more impacted than others.
The entire American Southeast are logged at 4 times the rate of the Amazon forest. Flood, 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 more flooding.
We have some of the highest rates of asthma and respiratory diseases, cardiovascular diseases, just the anxiety knowing that there's something right outside your door that you can't do anything about.
Over 3 million people of color are displaced by climate disasters each year, and 100,000 die from air pollution. These are the historically disinvested communities living at the intersections of racism, poverty, and pollution. And that's exactly where we start. Communities on the front lines of environmental degradation have the best solutions out there.
No one is going to come and rescue our communities but us.
Communities are advancing solutions right now. Abandoning justice is not an option. We need to resource those organizations like they've never been resourced before.
The city of Buffalo was built to be a city within a park. As you see, there's trees, and this is very similar to what the Humboldt Parkway was before it was ripped out and turned into the 33 highway. Back in the 50s and 60s, these were thriving Black communities, and now we have a lot of disparate health outcomes. I know that our folks are suffering from asthma. My children are suffering from asthma. We don't live far from here. Communities are suffering, they're struggling financially, and it hasn't been addressed.
I grew up in poverty. I didn't really know that we were poor, I guess because we were just surrounded by so much love, and that love came from our community. So I have a lot of pride in this work as an organizer. I still identify as an organizer, and I come in with a lot of trust because I've seen firsthand what's possible.
This is one of the ones that we're really proud of because it has a solar panel and the metal roof. It is a third cheaper than the market rate apartments.
Wow.
Yeah. The mission of PUSH is to support frontline communities to have sustainable jobs, sustainable homes, and really a healthy community.
The unique thing about the Solutions Project is that they let communities come up with the solutions.
What excites me about community-based solutions is our communities are advancing values that are about interdependence, regeneration, about care. I can't help but to think back on when I was 3 and 4 years old. My grandmother would have me running across the street, giving our neighbors sugar or eggs. These are values that will sustain us in the long haul. At the Solutions Project, we're resourcing over 300 grassroots organizations across the country led by people of color. And we have moved over $50 million to the front lines. We have changed policies. We have transformed the narrative. We have the president saying environmental justice, and more work is to be done.
This can be replicated anywhere in New York State, anywhere in the country, and that's what we hope to see.
We all have a right to breathe clean air, to drink safe drinking water. The only way to achieve a clean energy economy that benefits all of us is for all of us to work together. Ernesto Ciroli said it best with his story about this Italian company that had the bright idea to teach the Zambian people to grow food on their fertile soil. So the Italians arrived with their Italian seeds, and they went to the Zambian valley down by the river, and they planted tomatoes. And for some reason, the locals had zero interest in this amazing training on how to grow tomatoes. And some days the Italians even had to pay the locals just for them to show up. But they planted these seeds, and of course in Africa, everything grew beautifully. And when it grew beautifully, they were like, oh my God, this is amazing. And so they said, should you guys come out today? And they went down to the Zambian Valley, and they, oh Lord, y'all, I need to do it again. I'm sorry. I got this. All right. So let me have a vulnerable moment with y'all. So I am actually suffering from altitude sickness, and I was hospitalized yesterday and all the things. So I'm trying to be as present as possible, and it's a little bit hard because I'm struggling breathing, so just bear with me. But I love y'all and appreciate this love in the room. Ernesto's, oh, bless you. Oh, no. I got to stand, honey. Thank you. Ernesto Ciroli said it best with his story about this Italian company that had the bright idea to teach the Zambian people to grow food on their fertile soil. So the Italians arrived with their Italian seeds, and they went to the Zambian Valley down by the river, and they planted tomatoes. But for some reason, the locals had zero interest in this amazing training on how to grow tomatoes. And so some days, the Italians even had to pay the locals just for them to show up. So soon, the tomatoes were red and ripe and big and juicy, because in Italy, the tomatoes grow to about this size, but in Zambia, they grow to this size. And then guess what happened? Overnight, some 200 hippos came from the river and ate everything. The next morning, the Italians said, oh my God! And the Zambians said, yeah, we know. That's why we don't grow here. And the Italians said, what? Why didn't you tell us? And the Zambian said, you didn't ask. So what does this story that I finally got right have to do? What does this story have to do with climate solutions, Gloria? Well, I'm glad you asked. The answer to the climate crisis is right in front of us, and it starts with community-led climate solutions. We all know that the climate crisis affects all of us, but it does not affect us all in the same way. Think about your neighborhood. Do you wake to shade trees or breathe clean air? Or have a farmer's market to go to during the week or on the weekends? Or do you step outside and taste the smell of diesel fumes from trucks driving daily in your neighborhood? Or do you turn on a faucet or draw a bath and see dark waters before it becomes clear? Black, Indigenous, and other communities of color disproportionately live at the doorsteps of polluting industries and suffer inequities in their day-to-day health, wealth, and safety because of the legacy of structural racism and income inequality exacerbated by the climate crisis. They literally live on the front lines. But frontline communities are not waiting for someone to tell them what seeds to plant. Oh no. They are organizing, building power, and transforming solutions right now, across the country and around the world for that matter. I think of our communities and our grantee partners and the solutions that they're innovating. They're solutions that take the air and transform it into clean drinking water. Affordable green housing with enough rooftop solar to power the entire block. And these are just two of hundreds of climate solutions that we support at the Solutions Project. At the Solutions Project, we find communities that are already advancing climate solutions, and we ask what is needed. And often, it's money, bridge building to greater opportunities and even more money, and amplification. We listen, and we take action by fundraising and moving money quickly to the front lines, demonstrating that we trust communities to self-determine. We shine a light on their stories and solutions, amplifying across various platforms of influence to shape the debate, but also create a new center of gravity around these issues. And we connect our partners to various opportunities across the sectors of government, media, philanthropy, and business. So if you are a local resident, a government, business, and you want to transform your neighborhood or multiple neighborhoods across various climate issues and you don't know where to start, that's when you call the Solutions Project. And we're going to connect you to organizations on the ground making it happen right now. So let's not run around planting tomatoes where they're not needed or wanted. Let's instead join forces with our greatest intelligence, our greatest asset to the climate crisis, frontline communities. Because communities know best what they need, and they're advancing climate solutions that benefit all of us right now. Thank you.